When one of the most criticized quarterbacks in the NFL starts showing up alongside the league's biggest names, you know something major is going on. And when, almost at the same time, the name of one of the most controversial wide receivers of the moment pops up in an unexpected trade and the Lions get randomly mentioned in the middle of it, all curiosity goes through the roof. Whatever is connecting Jared Goff and George Pickens to Detroit in the past few hours is shaking up the NFL behind the scenes, and the reactions have been instant. There's recognition, there's accusation, and there's also a controversial decision. Don't miss a single detail of these Red Hot Lions updates, and be sure to drop a like to support the channel. Alright, it's officially ranking SCN in the NFL, and you know what that means. Everyone and their dog is debating quarterback tiers like it's a life or death situation. And right in the eye of that storm, Jared Goff, yep, the dude folks love to underrate, just made some real noise on a fresh post-draft QB ranking. And spoiler alert, he's finally getting some damn respect. Bleacher Report's Brad Gagnon just dropped his post-2025 NFL Draft quarterback rankings, and guess who's sitting at a very respectable number 7? That's right, Mr. Play Action Picasso himself, Jared Goff. And honestly, it feels like justice has finally been served. For once, he isn't getting knocked just because he's not blazing a 4.440 or launching off one foot like he's in an action movie. Look, the guys ahead of Goff mostly make sense. Lamar, Josh Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, no complaints there. Those guys are superstars, but then we hit Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert, and yeah, Goff fans might raise an eyebrow or two here. Hurts at least has the Super Bowl cred 2 appearances, and a ring earn you some leeway, but Herbert, talented as hell, no doubt. But if we're talking production, consistency, and actually winning when it counts, Goff's resume lately shines a bit brighter. The guy just had arguably the best season of his career, torching defenses for over 4,400 yards, nearly 30 touchdowns, and finishing top 6 in QBR, yards, and TDs. Oh, and let's not forget that 6-game heater. He went on 82.8% completions and a 140.1 passer rating. That's not just hot, that's molten. He's been a straight-up menace on third downs too, posting a 128.9 passer rating in clutch situations. And his play-action game, next level. He led the league in both play-action attempts, 203, and yards, 2,060. The next closest QB, nearly 600 yards behind. That's not a lead, that's a blowout. Goff's been cooking for 3 seasons now, consistently throwing for over 4,400 yards and 29+ TDs, while keeping the Lions competitive in the playoffs. If Detroit's defense hadn't been bitten by the injury bug, who knows how far they could have gone. And yeah, in case you forgot, Goff's locked in through 2029 thanks to a 4-year, $212 million extension signed last summer. There's a team option after the 2028 season, but as of now, the Lions have their guy. So yeah, it's taken a minute, but it feels like Jared Goff is finally getting the national love he deserves. Not bad for a dude Detroit basically stumbled into during the Matt Stafford trade. So is Goff finally silencing the critics? Drop your opinion in the comments. But hold up, because the next story brings a controversial trade, an unexpected name, and an accusation that caught the Lions off guard. So the Steelers finally pulled the trigger and shipped George Pickens to the Cowboys in a midweek deal, and right on cue, the "why didn't my team do this" crowd came out in full force. A 3rd rounder in 2026 and a 5th in 27 got it done, which feels like a steal for a dude as talented and as polarizing as Pickens. Naturally, folks started pointing fingers at teams that should have been in on the deal. Enter the Buffalo Bills, Denver Broncos, and weirdly the Detroit Lions. Yeah, someone over at NFL Spin Zone tried to lump the Lions into the "you'll regret this" club, suggesting they could have flipped Jameson Williams to Pittsburgh in some kind of swap for Pickens. But here's the thing, Detroit not making that trade isn't something they'll regret. Mostly because it was never even on the table. Let's rewind. Sure, there was some pre-draft smoke about the Lions possibly moving on from Jameson Williams if the offer was right. And yes, they drafted Isaac Slay, a big-bodied receiver with upside. But fast forward to now, and all signs point to Detroit keeping Williams around for another run. He's young, he's bought into Dan Campbell's tough love culture, and the guy blocks like he's auditioning for the O-line, a key trait in this no block, no rock Lions receiver room. Meanwhile, Pickens was busy playing the greatest hits from the Diva Wideout playlist, cryptic social media posts, visible frustration, and the classic "I'm done here" energy. The Steelers saw the writing on the wall, especially after locking up DK Metcalf. Talent aside, Pickens is heading into a contract year, and his whole vibe doesn't exactly scream culture fit for a Lions team built on grit, unity, and not rocking the boat. Could Pickens have helped Detroit on paper? Maybe, but would it be worth risking the chemistry of a rising squad just to roll the dice on a guy with a rep for drama? Not a chance. Bottom line, the Lions aren't losing sleep over a move they never even considered. Sometimes the best trades are the ones you never make. If there's one thing the Lions are showing, it's that growing with consistency is worth more than jumping on every risky move. Goff has been proving his value without making noise, and the team is making it clear they won't compromise the locker room just for a flashy name. That attitude says a lot about where Detroit wants to go. So if you're a true fan, go ahead and subscribe to the channel to stay on top of everything about our team's future.